How's it going, everybody? Kaitha here. Welcome back to Pokemon Freedom. Today I'm going to go through a little bit more of my dialogue system as we went through last time. And it's, for my liking, pretty much done. I have my broken Pidgeot and his wings here, as well as Golduck. I've got them... Don't like that, does that? I've got them with an incredibly large radius check that overlaps, just to show you that I've done some more, like a distance check with it. Not some more. I put that in like 5 minutes ago, technically. I have 2 Umbreons at the back here. This guy, if you scroll down, legitimately just at the moment is showing a new node, the triggered node, which is basically whether something enters or exits, whether something should happen. It's probably going to be more fused when something exits rather than enters, because I can, with adding a node, so chat node for example, if I would put this on auto start, as soon as we enter into the trigger, anyway, oh, that's interesting. Why you do that? Can I do it again? Huh. Found a bug. There we go. So that makes sense to why that disappeared before. But yeah, as soon as I enter, and if that's on auto, it'll do its thing anyway, but who knows, that might change in future. I'm trying to future-proof myself. So again, actually I'll do it on the guy that actually has nothing, the guy over here. Just go through the actual nodes and what everything is. So we have our start node as normal. The chat node from last time, a conditional node, an event node. I'll go through what each of these do in a second. The wait node and a trigger node. So, as pretty standard, chat node, we can put some text in here. You can also have different replies and put text in there as well. At the moment, it will just go for infinite times. Our event node, why did I have to click on the trees? We'll grab any game object in our scene. I grab player. Player's not the best, but I'll show you anyway. We get a list of all the functions from all the components that they have on the side. So the ones I'm more interested in are my own scripts that I'm making. So player import Pokemon script for now. But we could have him say take damage. Can't type in. I can type in that. I haven't quite fixed that yet. But mainly to put in, numbers for that. Or if, for instance, we'll drag. I don't know what's this gonna do. I might break it. Drag in that one. Oh, okay, so it just keeps the value. Interesting. But if we drag in, say, the NPC, I've got a couple of things here. So set follow target, which does nothing at the moment. But we've got either set destination with vector 3 or one with a transform. And with that, we can also just drag in a transform within the scene and send them there. Or if we know a specific destination, can just, type in a whole bunch of numbers. That works like that. So that does that for everything, every sort of function. The conditional node is pretty much like an if statement or a branch, if that makes more sense to people. Again, takes in a game object. But this time, because of the way I've set it up, I'll leave that for this one, because for unknown reasons, I could want to go and access all these to, change the parent if I wanted to. This one is only grabbing the public variables that are set up that you would normally see in the inspector. And at the moment, considering a lot of my things are public, there are a lot in these things. So eventually that'll change and there won't be as many, but that works. So we could, for instance, make him jump, I suppose. Or no, not make him jump. Check to see if they're jumping. That's what that one does. I know what I'm doing. Check if they're falling. Check if they're... I was going to say their speed, but I don't... That's not what that is. think that might be in here. I'm going to play input. Let me grab just a number and clone. The NPC, it's probably in Pokemon then. I'm slightly lost. It should be here somewhere. Oh yeah, run speed, walk speed. We could check to see at the moment, conditional node's not quite finished, but it would be say to check if their speed is 6. I do want to add a little bit more functionality to this to say whether or not if you want to go equals to, less than, more than, all that sort of thing. And then if we can check if something is true, or you can check if it's false, if the buttons want to work. There we go. And there's those. Wait node's pretty self-explanatory. Just chuck in a node, set the wait time to say 4 seconds, and after 4 seconds, if it's connected to something, that next thing will happen. We shall just break the connections. I finally set that up. And triggered node is pretty standard as well. Ooh, I didn't mean to delete that. I meant to grab a thing to it. But if it's connected, if you require something to happen on enter, you would tick that one and then output this way. Or if require something on exit, output that way. Or even both and have them connect to different things. So everything works really nice. I'm just going to close that and reset that so it is being cleared and empty. I'm also going to clear the console. So with these two, I've got them at the moment. Stop doing that. Just click them. They just say their names at the moment. So jump in here. I can, so if I walk in and out of this guy, or I did both, he's just gonna run off to over to the bridge. I've also fixed the nav mesh stuff too, which I will show you in a second. So I can walk over to Golduck, say hello to Golduck, walk over to Pidgeot, say hello, and walk back. Say again. And it's just purely distance based. Did I forget to do the thing? No, I'm running into him, so he's trying to climb him apparently. Can I move you? I can move you. Slightly, I think. Pidgeot? What did I do? Did I actually do the thing? I was testing or whether or not kinematic was allowing me to move them before. Well, this would work best with the Umbreon. Is kinematic. So now I can't move them, but I don't think they can move themselves, which we'll test with that guy in a second. But yeah, so the way I have this set up is if they entering the sphere, the sequences gets turned on and active, but I just have it searching into a game manager, which I added because I'm all over the place. If we jump into that, I'm just doing a quick distance check. Well, that's here. Your standard, set up a minimum distance at the highest value possible. I was going to put this at just 1,000, but I might have overarching events potentially in the future, so covering my basis, this will probably screw me over later on. But anyway, set your index. Make sure down here that the index is not -1, because if it's -1, it's not going to work. And this whole thing just runs off by sending in the actual sequencer that's called it and just checking if that is the closest one to you. I'm not going to go through the dialogue stuff, sequencer stuff, because especially the event side of things, because that stuff is kind of nasty when looking at it. Let's just do a quick test check. I'm pretty sure he doesn't move. If I do, is kinematic, because I can't run him over. Yeah, now I've got problems. Oh, no, that's dialogue system problem. Never mind, because he's not connected to anything. Oh, there you go. He does move. I didn't expect him to move. Also, why did you move when I went into the thing, opposed to only when it was on exit, not enter? I was confused. I don't know what I'm doing. Double check that. Is that what's actually happening? Or is it because I'm stopping? I may have broken something again. Every time I add a new thing, I tend to break something. my wait node broke everything that I showed you guys last time. Also a case of I had to rework how I was doing things. Anywho, onwards to the nav mesh. So, pretty standard, baking the ground, whatnot. I found that, oh, no, this little tick box down here, height mesh. If we come down here, I'll turn that off and turn on the pink, because it's pink for some reason. If you use this, the nav mesh gets set as close as it can directly to the mesh, which is awesome. I think I've tried this in the past, but I don't think I've ever hit the bake button again, which is just my bad. It's my bad on my part, essentially. And what it does, if I hover over here, I think that's where it generates an accurate height mesh for precise agent placement. So it's slower. I presume it's slower when baking. I haven't gone into too much checking with it. But it just means that I don't have to offset these guys anymore. Before, this used to be at like negative 0.24. And the main reason I was doing that is if I'll get this guy to run over here. You probably won't see it now. But coming over here, because of the way the bridge is set up for the nav mesh, he's staying flat now. But as I will, let's fly over here. If I go back onto the nav mesh is obviously above the ground, and coming over here, it goes up and over the bridge, but higher than it normally would. So he, instead of being there, he was showing up like floating on the ground, which was not good. And me pushing him, actually, I ended up working out that's what the thing was. Yeah, I know you're broken. You don't like the fact that I've done things to you. So that has fixed a lot of just ground-based issues with that. But yeah, so with the sequencer pretty much all done, I'm gonna have to fiddle around with this kinematic a bit more. I'm basically able to. Let me reset that again. Is that what the problem is? I'm curious now. Apologies. Something else is happening, and it's actually trying to. Oh, I broke the thing. Oh, we've broken things. Yeah, I'll be back in a second. Alright, we're back. I had to close Unity and reopen it again. I didn't get to find out what was wrong, but I think it's just a case of something's being toggled somewhere. And that needs to move because I've been trying to do things. Anyway, as I was saying, with the current state of the sequencer, it's going to allow me to just move on. It's got the functionality that I need. The chatting and the event nodes is what I was really after. That and the condition node. So I can now move on to the dreadedness of the AI. I believe that's what was next. I have my little list here. I believe AI was next. Yeah, well, technically interacting with objects of picking things up and giving things and whatnot was next. But that's technically to be handled with the system, and it can be done like that as well. I suppose the only node I'm missing would be a node to delete an object. But technically, I can do that with an event node. I don't know how well that would work. That would probably break things, actually. No, that would totally break things. But yeah, that'll be the only node I'll have to add next, would be just a delete node of whatever. Work out why that is broken. But yeah, delete things that would be required. Although I don't think I'll be picking up any items anytime soon. So I might end up coming back to that. So yeah, the dreaded AI will be next. You and your pixelated goodness of trying to do battles. But anyway, guys, I think that'll have to do it for today. Just wanted a short update video letting you guys know that this sequencer has pretty much been completed. Well, I suppose probably 95% functionality is done. Like I said, a little bit of tweaking with the conditional node, as well as just the standard. I'm gonna break things. Be gone, dude. What was I saying? I've lost train of thought. Yeah, functionality and the conditional nodes with their little bit of extra checking that they need to do, apart from just being, does this equal this? As well as, like I said earlier, adding the delete node. But anyway, that will be all. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to stick around and see some more. And I have no idea when the next episode will go up because of the AI shenanigans that is about to ensue. I haven't really had time to really put much more thought into it. But just from other projects, I might have a way to make it easier. But we shall see. Anyway, once again, that is all. And I hopefully see you guys in the next episode. But until then, bye.